Magical Monday with Mandy. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. So we are celebrating on Thursday a day called Earth Day. So we thought that it would be a good idea to have a little bit of Earth Day yoga today. So find your place on the mat or on your floor and put your legs into crisscross applesauce. And when you're ready, you get your yoga glue stick. Get your yoga glue stick and then put that yoga glue stick onto your hand. We need lots. We always need lots of yoga glue stick. And then put the yoga glue stick to the side and rub that yoga glue stick onto your hands. Maybe you can do it a little faster. And then we put that yoga glue stick onto our buttons. Left and right. And then we wiggle our buttons down into the floor so that our bottom is glued down onto the earth. And then we imagine a string attached to the top of your head. You can tap the top of your head. And then if you feel a little bit slouchy, you imagine somebody pulling you all the way up towards the sky and you sit really tall. Perfect. So then we are doing a breath today, pranayama, that's what we call it in yoga. And that one is called the humming breath. So it sounds a little bit like a bee, but we're not going to make the sound. We keep our lips closed. But we can put our fingers, and I think we did this before maybe, we can put our fingers into our ears, and if you don't like that, then you can cover your ears with your hands like this, right? So I stick my fingers into my ears because I really like that. And then maybe put your hands back down just so you can hear what I'm saying first, and then you cover your ears, right? So we take a big breath in through the nose. And then when we breathe out, we make a really long humming sound, all right? So you choose what you want to do. Cover your ears, stick the fingers in. We take a deep breath in. And then we put the hands onto our knees. That humming breath is a very good breath to take when you have lots of thoughts flying around in your mind like bees and you want them to calm down, right? And that's when you do that humming breath. All the bees in the head, in your mind are sitting down and they're waiting for the story, right? So, as we said, it's spring, and in springtime, many things happening outside. So in our story, we start with the weather. In springtime, it's crazy weather outside. Sometimes we have rain. Let's do some rain. We do pitter patter rain onto our face, onto our forehead. And if you like, you can say pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter. And it goes all over our heads and over our shoulders and over one arm and over the other arm and even onto our legs, everywhere, pitter patter raindrops. And then a few moments later, the sun's shining. Let's say hello, sun. We stand up onto our mat and we open up the feet a little bit. We stretch the arms all the way up and we look up to the sun and we wave and we say, hello, sun. Hello, sun. Oh, and because it's Earth Day on Thursday, we're going to say hello to the Earth as well. So fold forwards and we say, hello, sun. No, hello, Earth. What happens? Sit back down and crisscross applesauce. What happens when we mix the rain on one side and sunshine on the other side? Oh, I think I know that you know what happens. A rainbow happens. So let's make a big rainbow on one side. So both hands go onto the floor and then you lift up your pointer finger on your right hand and we take a deep breath and we make a big circle, like a big rainbow, all the way over to the other hand and all the way back. A big, beautiful rainbow. Same thing on the other side. You stretch the index finger onto the mat and then you inhale, a big deep breath, and then you exhale and you make this beautiful big rainbow. Let's get our binoculars and have a look outside. Maybe we see something that we can have a little adventure with. So we look over to the left, there's nothing. We look over to the right, there's nothing. And we look all the way to the front, there's nothing. What can we do? Suddenly, we hear a knock on the window. Knock. Get your knuckles ready and knock on the window 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Oh, who is coming? Who's sitting on the window? It is Bronwyn Butterpants. Bronwyn Butterpants is an earth fairy. She watches out for the earth and she has a lot to do. Let's get our fairy wings ready. We move the arms all the way up and all the way down. All the way up and all the way down. One more time. All the way up and all the way down. And then we open the window. Hold on to your elbows and open the window. Oh, Bronwyn Butterpants is tired and she is out of breath. She has so much to do today. So she says, maybe you can help me today. I give you some fairy dust and you go out and you see if you can help all my friends out there. We say, yes, of course we can. Fairy dust? She says, yes. You sprinkle the fairy dust over your head. And whenever you need the fairy dust, it will turn you into a hero. Maybe like Superman, maybe like Wonder Woman. Oh, yes, we rub our hand. That sounds like an adventure, right? So we are looking out and we think, okay, let's see where we go first. And right outside the door, there are beautiful trees. Let's open the door. So come on to the knees. You know how to open the door, right? I know that you know that. Put your hands onto your hips and stretch out one side, one leg. Put your hand onto your leg. Lift your arm all the way up and open the door. Very good. And then slowly come back. Now we need to close the door, right? Come back onto the knees. Stretch the leg out to the side. Put your hand onto your leg. And we want to close the door. But oh, Bronwyn Butterpants shakes her head. She says, no, 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 no. The lights are still on. If you want to help the earth and help to save energy, you need to turn off the lights when you leave the house. Oh, okay. So we turn off the lights and then we close the door. And come back up. We are standing outside, and even though the sun is shining, it is a little bit cold. So we put on our big coat. So So stand all the way up, open up your feet, and then swing your arms around you like this. It's a big. If we think about the rain that was happening before, maybe we should put on some rain boots too, right? So can you stand on one foot and put on your rain boots? Oh, very good. Now let's do this on the other side as well. Put the rain boot on the other foot. Now we are ready. Oh, one wind butter pants is flying away. Now we are all on our own. Let's watch her fly away. Come on, to one foot. And then we come into the airplane pose. But right now it's one wind butter pants. All right? So hands onto the hips. And then lift the back leg up all the way like this. Whoa, I'm really wobbly. I hope you're not that wobbly. And lift the arms to the side. We are flying away. Now, same thing on the other side. Can you do it on the other leg as well? Let me see. Okay, so one foot back and then see. Ooh, yes, I can see you. Very good. I think that's Bethany, right? Looks fantastic. Really good. We're flying away. Outside, there is this beautiful tree right in the garden. Let's come into tree pose. So one foot on top of the other. And then maybe close your eyes for just a moment and imagine little roots growing down into the earth. Oh, this tree is a big tree. It's a linden tree, and her branches grow all the way up into the sky. She looks like she is an old tree. Do you know when a tree is very old, the trunk is quite big and the tree is quite tall? Her name is Talia. Oh, Talia looks magnificent. And we feel like we want to give her a hug. So now give the tree a big hug. Open your arms again and give her a big hug because Talia looks a little bit sad. She has heard in the news that in the Amazon forest, they are cutting down lots of trees. She's very upset about that. Let's come into the other tree pose, like put your foot on top of the other foot. Imagine the roots growing down into the earth and then put your hands in front of your chest. Maybe let's grow into a big linden tree, Talia. Oh, she's very sad about these news. And we think, what can we do about that? We can't go to the Amazon forest and save trees over there, can we? Talia says, let's think about that. And we think, we have fairy dust. We can use the fairy dust and maybe fly down like Superman or Wonder Woman down to the Amazon forest. But Talia says, no. Let's come into our warrior two pose. This is now our earth ninja pose. So we open our feet all the way up like we're going into surfer pose, right? And then we turn one foot out, we bend that knee, and we open our arms. Yes! Now we are just about to sprinkle the fairy dust onto our head and turn into a earth ninja superhero when Talia says, no, there are other things you can do. Straighten your knee and put your hands into your hips and turn that foot in. You can actually help me very easy. You don't need fairy dust or be a superhero. When you have a white page and you color and you make a picture, you can color the whole page, not just one little piece. You use the whole piece of paper. And you can also use the other side of your piece of paper. Really? We can do that? Yes, she said. Turn your other foot out and then bend your other knee and open your arms like that. Oh, Wow, that is a very easy thing to do. We don't need fairy dust for that. And we can use recycled paper whenever we can. We would help the tree with that. Oh, Talia is very happy to hear that. Straighten the knee, put your hands into your hips, and return the foot back together. Now, here to your way back together, and you sit down, cross your legs, and see if you can sit down all the way onto the floor. And then put your feet together. Put the soles of your feet together because we are sitting under the tree and we are thinking about how else we can help the tree. We can plant trees. We can find out what trees are, in our neighborhood. What are natural trees that grow there, right? And we can plant our own little tree. Oh, that's a good idea. And just when we get really excited about that, we see this butterfly coming over. His name, no, it's her name. Her name is Betty Butterfly. She is beautiful. She has yellow wings and she flutters with them and she shows it to us. But she looks a little thirsty and she looks a little hungry. Oh, she says, there is only lawn everywhere. There are no flowers. Everybody wants green lawn, but nobody wants flowers. How can we help her? She wants to stretch out and show us her wings. So maybe stretch out one side of the butterfly wing. And then stretch out the other side of your butterfly wing. Oh, but Betty Butterfly is very, very thirsty and she is so hungry and she couldn't find any flowers. Oh, maybe now is the time to use that fairy dust and we can turn into a hero. Let's step up in our hero pose and let's get ready. Maybe we can help Betty Butterfly with our magic fairy dust. So we bend one knee, the other leg is straight, we open the arms, and we are just ready to sprinkle magic fairy dust over our head. But she says, no, you don't need magic fairy dust to turn into a superhero. Straighten the front knee, turn the foot, turn the other foot out, and bend that knee and open your arms. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do, Betty Butterfly? Oh, she says, you know what? You can plant flowers. Even if it's a flower, only one flower in one pot. And right beside that pot, you can put a little bowl with water, straighten the front knee, put your hands onto your hips, and turn your foot back in and heel toes back together. And we sit back down and we do that little bowl. So when you have that flower pot with one beautiful flower blooming in there, you can beside that have a little bowl with stones in it and water, so that we can land on the stone and we can drink some water. So let's make first a flower pot. So we are putting the hands underneath our feet and we are lifting up the feet like this. And we are making a beautiful flower pot. Let's smell the flower. So put your fingers together like this and take a deep sniff. Oh, it smells so good. Mine is lavender. I love that smell. And Betty Butterfly loves that too because lavender makes beautiful nectar and she can eat. And then she can drink something. So stretch your legs out wide and lean forward and drink some water. Betty Butterfly feels so much better. She's not thirsty anymore and she's not hungry anymore. So bring your feet back together and let's see if we can stretch out our wings a little bit better. If she can stretch out your wings. Whoa, look at that. Very good. And then on the other side. Yes, those are beautiful butterfly wings. And she says, put your hands together in front of your chest. She says, Namaste. Thank you so much for helping me. Oh, that makes us feel really good. So what are we going to do now? We see a bicycle by the fence. So jump on to the bicycle. We are cycling all the way out into the country. First, of course, we are cycling all the way up the hill, and it gets really hard to get up that hill. But as you know, we are going down the hill in just a moment, and go faster and faster and faster. And you know what? We are sitting back up right onto our bicycle lamp. What's landing there but Bert the bee? Bert the bee is also very tired and very hungry. And he's saying, yes, I'm looking for a flower. I'm looking for some water too. So we just tell him where to fly. Fly over to our flower pot and to our little bowl with water, and you feel much better afterwards. We look around and we see a big farm, and there's lots of animals on that farm. We see a dog. Let's come into dog pose. Tuck the toes under and lift all the way up into the sky. And maybe you can lift one leg and you can wag your tail. And then the same thing with the other side. Lift all the way up and yes, come all the way back down. There's also a cat. Come into cat pose. So we drop the belly and we lift the head. Oh, that's the cow pose. I'm sorry. You know what cat pose is, right? So we are round in the back and we drop the head and we come into cat pose. And then lift the head and drop the belly. Oh, that is cow pose. Oh, what does the cow sound like? Moo. Exactly. Very good. But there are also, let me see, because I have written it down. There are also lots of baby lambs being born. That's what's happened in spring, right? Baby cows are getting born, and also the little birds in the nests, right? There's lots of eggs, and also lambs. And they are skipping and running over the field. Let's start skipping and running. All right, so first we're gonna run on the squat. Yes, very good. And they also skip. And they run. And they skip. Oh, yes, you are very good runners and skippers. I can see that. But what else do they have? They have bunnies. They have little tiny bunnies. And they are very, very small. So come down into the rock pose and make yourself like a very small little bunny. What else do they have? Oh yes, I was talking about the birds. The birds in the trees are having so much work to do. They have to build all their nests and they are tweeting. So hold on to your arms, like your elbows, and you make tweety bird mouth. Open up the arms again, and then we just switch the arms And we do the same thing again. Oh, wow, so many things to see, and they all look pretty happy. We see that in some of the nests are blue and white eggs. Now turn into an egg. So we sit and we lift our feet and we wrap our hands around our legs and we can roll around like an egg. Roll around like this. Very good. And again. Ooh. Now come back into crisscross applesauce. We are looking around and we don't know where else to go. And the farmer says, you know, I can drive you with my car all the way over to this pond. There's a boat, there's some fish in there, maybe you can have some fun over there. We say, yes, that is a good idea. Let's drive over there. But there is Betty Butterfly and Bert the Bee, and they are flying into our ear and they say, aren't you forgetting something? Of course, we have a bicycle, you know, to save petrol and not to waste it and to waste fossil fuels. We can always, if we can walk to a place and we can also cycle and we have our bicycle with us. So let's go. We say, namaste, thank you so much, farmer, but we don't need your car. We can walk or we can use the bicycle. Now let's go back onto our bicycles. Lie back down and we cycle all the way over to that beautiful pond in the valley. We see all the trees, we see all the flowers, and there is bees and butterflies everywhere. Oh, this is a beautiful meadow, and right there is the lake. No, it's more a pond. Come into one pose. So we are putting our feet together, we're pushing the little away, so we make this little pond. Oh, let's look around in the pond. One way, we are just stirring a little bit. And then look around in the pond the other way. Oh, very good. And we see on the other side is a man standing there and he is fishing. Let's come into fisherman pose. So we stand up and we hold on to our foot. And then we lift our arm all the way up and we hold our fishing rod in one hand. And then we put the foot back down. Can you do the same thing on the other side? I'm always more wobbly on the other side. Lift the arm all the way up. Yes, look at that. You guys are fantastic yogis. See, if you wobble, that's okay. That's really good for your little muscles in your foot. They get really strong from wobbling. But don't wobble on purpose. Just a little. All right. So we see this little boat. Let's go onto the boat. Now, we sit here in boat pose. Yeah, I know you know boat pose. Really good. We lift up one foot. We lift up 2 feet. We lift up one hand and then the other. And then we can row. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. And I'm kind of glad that we have a mute button and we don't see the scream. All right, now we are looking into the pond. And what can we see? There's nothing on this side. Can you lean over again on the other side? Nothing. And again, nothing. But there are little tadpoles. Little baby frogs. Let's come into swimming tadpole pose. We are coming onto our belly. We are lying all the way down onto the belly. And then we make a tail with our feet. We put them together and we swish the tail around like that. And then we wiggle all the way up. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And we look around. We look to the left. And find food? No. Look over to the other side. Can the tadpole find food over there? Let's start swimming. Hands all the way to the front. And we start swimming. We see hundreds of tadpoles. But come back into crisscross applesauce. There is a big plastic bag swimming in the pond. What are we going to do? The tadpoles are all swimming into the plastic bag. I know, we can sprinkle the fairy dust over our head, right? Let's stand all the way up and come into warrior pose. Yes, tap your right leg and then the leg that you tap on, even if it's the left, you can turn that one out, bend that knee and lift your arms. Look over your front hand. Yes, ready to sprinkle the magic fairy dust and become superheroes. Straighten the front knee, put your hands into your hips and turn that foot in because Betty Butterfly and Bertie Bee are coming over to us and they tell us, don't need the fairy dust for that. Tap on the other leg and turn your foot out and bend that front knee, lift your arms and come into Earth Ninja pose for the other side. Really, we say, what can we do about plastic? Plastic is everywhere, right? Plastic everywhere, and it's in the oceans, it's in our rivers, and it's even in this pond. And now the poor little tadpoles, they get trapped in that plastic bag. We can get that plastic bag out right now. So here to the way back together. And we are lifting our arms and we are sitting down on the front of the boat. Crisscross applesauce. We're going to make a plastic bag in just a moment. But first, let's think about what we can do for the earth as earth ninjas. Well, one thing we can do is when we go to the supermarket, we can use a real bag made out of cotton or maybe a basket, something that we can use every time we go to the supermarket. Let's make a very big bag made out of cotton. Maybe it has flowers on it, or maybe it has animals on it. I'm sure you have fantastic ideas. Now let's make a big cotton bag. Lie on your belly. Bend your knees, and you know what that looks like, right? You hold on to one foot, and then to the other foot, and then we lift the knees, and hold on to our feet, and we make this beautiful cotton bag. No plastic. No. You see what happens. And then let your legs go down. Put the hands onto the floor and lean back into rock pose. Wow. So many things that we can do, and we don't need to be a superhero. We can do all these little things and help all the things on our beautiful planet, Earth, right? Now, we are getting a little bit tired. Let's go back onto our bicycles and we cycle home. We are lying all the way back and we cycle home. Take your time. And tap it a little faster. And there we see our house. Roll onto or come back into crisscross applesauce and we make a house pose. So lift your arms all the way and make that big roof. We put the bicycle to the side. Put your arms to the side and we open up the door. So come onto your knees. Stretch out one leg. Put your hand onto one side. Lift your arm all the way up. And we open our door. And then slowly come back. Open up the other side. And then put your hands onto your leg. And we close the door. And slowly come back down. You know what I forgot? I forgot the frog jumps. Come onto your hands and your feet like this, like a frog pose. We just need to be, just one time we need to be a frog, right? So because the tadpoles, as you probably know, when they grow up, they become frogs. And next week, no, next month, we're gonna have a frog story. So let's practice our frog jumps, okay? So after 3, 1, 2, 3. Hop. Yes, I can see you guys. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Hop. I know, it's so good we have to do that again. 1, 2, 3. Hop. Ah, very good. Oh man, what a day. So now we are lying down. We need to have a little nap. But we are so excited that we can't really close our eyes and sleep, even if it's just for a moment. But we have a little bit of magic fairy dust in our pocket. Maybe we can use it to rest a little bit, right? So we are lying down and we are closing our eyes. And we lift our arms all the way up, all the way up. We wiggle our fingers. And then we put the arms down. And then we lift up one leg and we wiggle our toes and we circle our feet, our foot, and put it back down. We lift up the other foot, we wiggle the toes and we circle the foot one way and then the other. Oh, I don't think we need magic fairy dust again. We can give it all back to Bronwyn butter pants. What a day. Put your hands onto your belly. Oh, we had so much fun. First we met Talia the tree and we realized how we could help the trees. We could plant new trees and we could be very careful how we use paper, because paper, you know, that's made of trees. So when we make a picture, we can color everything on that page and we can use the back. We can also use everything made out of recycled paper. What else did we see? Yes, we met birds, the bee, and Betty Butterfly. How can we help the bees and the butterflies? Because without bees and butterflies, we wouldn't have fruits and vegetables. Oh, I like my apples and my cherries and my strawberries. And to get that, we need Bert and Betty. They go and pollinate all the flowers. What else can we do? Yes, we saw the tadpoles. Just lie very still on your mat and think about how we sat in that boat and we looked at the tadpoles swimming around. And we help them by taking out the plastic out of that pond. How can we help that there's no more plastic in the lakes and in the rivers and into the ocean? We can use cotton bags and we can use glass bottles. And when we go somewhere, we can drink out of our own cup. We don't need a paper cup. We can do so many little things to help our beautiful planet. Now we can wiggle our toes and our fingers, and we take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then we bend one knee and then the other. And then we roll onto our side. We push all the way back up and we sit back up in crisscross applesauce. You guys look fantastic. So now we put the hands in front of our chest. And then after 3, we say namaste. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me on Earth Day Yoga.